Hey friends, welcome back. Tiffany here. Today we have got part 3, the final part of our Q&A from our 2,000 subscriber call for questions. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see, and if you do like it, consider hitting that red subscribe button. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead, jump right in and get this going for you, right?
See.
He's worked all day, twice. Well, not 2 all days. Well, yes, he's worked a lot of days, but he worked 2 jobs today, so he's tired and he's being a good sport so that we can get this done because it's a little bit delayed for you all. So, first question from Newman Family Vlogs. They ask, what is your all-time favorite Instant Pot recipe? If you're new to the channel, you might not know that I do have some Instant Pot videos up of some of the recipes that we've tried. My favorite recipe, however, is not on there, and that is chicken tikka masala. And if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, just let me know. All I do is throw in a few chicken breasts, some green pepper, and then I buy the masala sauce from Aldi. It comes in a jar and it's like less than $2. I pour that in with it and I cook that in the Instant Pot for like whatever the chicken setting is, and it is delicious served over rice. I don't know if you have a favorite because you probably don't know which recipes are necessarily Instant Pot and which ones aren't.
Not really.
Do you like the chicken tikka masala? Do you remember which one that is?
Not really.
He just eats what I put in front of him. Okay, next question is from Freedom in a Budget, and she asks, what have you learned most about yourself since starting YouTube?
I don't talk very much when I'm on camera. No, I was just saying that I'm relating to the stuff that I was putting on my channel where I found that I wasn't talking enough during the gameplay sessions that I was doing. Someone talks too much during their videos.
Probably because mine are typically sit-down videos where I'm the only one in front of the camera. What I learned most, I guess I've learned that I can actually enjoy a hobby and stick with it because I am someone who I've always felt like I don't really have any hobbies. Like I started using planners, and some of you are like, that's not a hobby, but it is. There's an entire network on YouTube and Instagram and the internet. Like I tried to get into like the Erin Condren planners. I'll link here and tell you why I had to break up with Erin Condren if you're interested in seeing that. So this is something that's coming up on a year now where I've been doing this nearly every day for a year. I feel like that's something I learned about myself. I learned that I can actually stick with something. I learned how to edit.
I was gonna say Premiere.
Yeah, but that's not something I learned about myself. That I'm not as like shy and withdrawn on camera as I thought I would be, and that's what held me back from starting a channel to begin with.
I would also point out that your reaction to the first time you opened up Premiere was, I'm never gonna be able to learn this.
And then I taught myself because he was working.
I gave her the basics and then she picked up everything else pretty much on her own from there.
Next we've got a question from Sarah Gauthier, and she asks, how did you and your husband meet, and do you guys want more kids? So, sorry to disappoint, I believe this was probably in segment 1 and 2. As you can see, I didn't edit the questions. I just copied them, and I wanted to make sure that everyone who asked got a chance to be featured. We will be doing a separate video on how we met. And as far as more kids, I feel like this is something that everyone asks us. Our youngest is 4, almost 4.5, and when we had Jackson, I knew right away, and I think you probably did too, like we knew we weren't done. Like we were ready to have another baby pretty soon after Jack. And he was 8 months old when we got pregnant with Alice. After Alice, I haven't had that feeling really. If it were to happen, that's God's way of planting some humor in our lives. But I think we're probably comfortable with where things are right now.
Diapers stink.
Diapers do stink. We have been out of diapers since shortly after we moved here to Kentucky, so about 2 years.
It's probably never good to be outnumbered by your children.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
I'm gonna say we got them 1-for-1 right now.
Especially since I'm a pushover.
Yes, so I'm almost outnumbered.
Because he's got me to contend with as well.
I am the law.
All right, next question, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. This is from Romanita C, and she asks, have you ever considered getting help with the kids in the house chores for your down days? And do you attend church? I think she means my down days because I think this question came like when I was having some health issues, which I'm still currently having. Short answer, no. Number one, it's not the budget. I think my answer might or might not be differently if we had a lot more discretionary income. I am someone who feels very guilty getting help with anything. I don't ask for help often. I don't think that I would, like, it would be nice to maybe have someone come in and deep clean the house like once every few months, but I enjoy cleaning, and most of the days I enjoy my kids. And then, do we attend church?
Not as often as we should.
When we lived in Michigan, we had a home church that we were very, very familiar and comfortable with. It's the church that the children were baptized in. It's the church
I went to my entire
life. He went to school there and went to church there. Since being here, we haven't found some place that feels quite like home. We still pray and we talk about God, and you know, the kids are familiar, but that's about as far as it goes.
That mixed with my work schedule, I guess.
Yeah.
Also doesn't help things.
I would be going to church on my own with the kids for the most part. All right, Dollar Dude asks, who are some people that inspire you? That's getting deep, y'all.
I don't know, I guess recently Joe Rogan, that's a good one for me, where
he wants to be like mini Joe Rogan.
when I'm listening to his podcast, it's a very intelligent guy who is very focused, just kind of in general, very inquisitive, and you know, looking toward bettering both his mind and his body. Pretty much any really motivated people I'm good at doing once I start doing. Getting started is hard.
He needs a kick in the pants.
I'm inspired by people who, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, and it's like, where do you find all the time?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, looking back at my day, not so much in the last couple of days, typically looking back at my day, and it's like, oh, well, you know, that, you know, hour I sat and watched TV, I could have been doing something more productive.
For me, it's gonna be just like the women in my life. I've got really good friends and I've got relatives. They inspire me to be a better mom. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom and wife, so I spend my days, I can either choose the route of being lazy and binge watching Netflix, which I definitely do some days. Now that he's working 2 jobs, I feel like I should be more productive at home because that is my job. And so I've got a lot of women in my life who inspire me to be a better person in the home, be a better mother, lots of good friends and stuff. So kind of a generic answer, but those people know who they are without calling them out. But I would say that would probably be my inspiration currently in this stage of life.
And my dad as well. He's a very motivated person. Another person works like 14-hour days. Finds
You're also a mini dad. You're like a mini Joe Rogan and a mini your dad.
You know, just very hard-working guy,
Yeah.
so I try to be like that. And this is going to be random, but I just became aware of my posture, so I'm doing it to every single one of you too. Sit up.
I've got 2 questions from A Merry Journey. First question, what's the #1 way you've grown your channel to 2,000? Consistency is #1. I also, not so much lately because our schedule's been crazy, I try to make it a point to visit new channels and even the channels that I currently watch, and I comment, like, not just, oh, nice video, but actually engage in conversation with the creators. YouTube groups on Facebook, that's a good way to network. Basically consistency, and he's gonna like gloat because he's the one that kind of kicked me in the pants and made me be consistent to begin with. The second question from A Merry Journey is, what do you hope to achieve with YouTube in the next 5 years?
World domination.
You know, I hope it's something that I continue to love. I don't want to get burnt out on it, so there might be some changes coming up in the near future while I navigate that. I just hope for more success. I mean, I never went into this planning to become like one of the biggest YouTubers by any means. That's not what I'm in it for.
Well, a lot of it stemmed from just we're not close to family, so
Yeah.
being able to do family vlogs and, you know, people back home being able to come in and look at what we were doing,
Yeah.
see the kids and stuff like that.
Documenting our lives for both family and personal reasons, because when I was growing up we had one of those like big camcorders that like they'd whip out at holidays and record 2 hours of opening presents. I like to think this is the better version of that, and I can edit out all the boring parts and you still get a gist of like the kids growing up. So I guess in the next 5 years, just to continue growing, have fun with it, and not let it become something that I don't enjoy. Brittany Z asks, more kids or is 2 enough? I think we just touched on that. 2 is plenty right now. Kim Arnett, she asks, how long did it take you to decide on a YouTube channel name, and did you ever change it? And along those same lines, how did you come up with the name to begin with? Started with my blog, didn't it?
Yeah.
Originally, I knew I was going through a phase, I'm constantly going through a phase of wanting to simplify our lives, and I'm a wife. So, like, We are by no means like minimalists. We are by no means as simple as we could be, but it started when we were going through like our Dave Ramsey and budgeting, like when we started that, trying to simplify our lives and not be so caught up in the stuff. That's kind of where it stemmed from. So simple life, simple wife. I've never changed it as of yet. I have had feelings about changing it because I don't know if it fully encompasses where we are now. But I don't know what I would change it to yet. Like nothing's sparked me as far as like what I would change it to, but it has been something that's been on my mind. Right now it's still, I'm happy with it right now. I don't know what else I would change. He's the creative one, and he, like I would be sitting on the couch and he would just text me from work and like throw out random names, and I was just like, no, no, no. It's hard to come up with a YouTube name.
Yes, yes it is.
Especially finding one that's not taken.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of the name of my channel. It just kind of had to start something. Haven't come up with anything better.
But those are all the questions. If you have other questions for a future Q&A, leave them down below and let me know what you thought about this one.
Sit up straight.
I'm sitting as straight as I can. I'm short and my feet barely reach the floor.
You could also do those other annoying ones like you are now aware of your tongue and your breathing.
You are strange.
You're thinking about your tongue, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm thinking about how strange you are, honestly. With that, we will leave you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.
She's thinking about her tongue.
I wasn't. I'm not.
She is. She's super conscious of it.
No, I'm thinking about my braid.
That's not your tongue.
Exactly. Again. Ugh.
Let me clear my throat.